Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't need to, and today we are talking about SOFI Technologies SOFI stock, and we're going to be going over the latest news updates and price targets for SOFI stock. We're going to start off by discussing when SOFI Technologies is going to be releasing their Q1 2022 financial results, and of course I will also do a breakdown video once those results are released. Then we're going to talk about if SOFI Technologies is a good long-term buying opportunity, especially because the SOFI stock price is trending down right now. So is this a good time to buy SOFI Technologies, or should we just hold the stock or even sell the stock in some instances? And then lastly, we're going to be going over a new price target by an analyst who believes that SOFI Technologies is going to continuously trend downward throughout the year of 2022. So I will be responding to this analyst's article and this financial reporter. So for more videos like this one on SOFI Technologies, remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment down below your price targets for SOFI stock, and without further ado, let's jump right into today's stories. So SOFI Technologies is a fintech company, also known as a financial technology company, and they are a leading next-generation financial services company that offers a digital app which gives consumers an all-in-one place to meet all of their financial needs. Their Q1 2022 results are going to be aired and published on May 10th of 2022 at 5 p.m. And once these results are released for their finances in the first quarter, I will be doing a breakdown of these results so we can analyze how well SOFI Technologies is performing as a company. Right now, SOFI stock is trading at around $7.60 per share, while the low-end analyst price target is $10, which means that the company is trading at a pretty good discount compared to what the bearish negative naysayer analysts are saying about this company, which actually gives us a good margin of safety. The average price consensus among professionals is $14 for the next 12 months, while the high-end bullish positive price prediction for the company goes as high as $22 per share. Currently, 12 analysts cover the stock, with 6 of these analysts saying that SOFI Technologies is a fantastic buying opportunity right now because the stock price is trading so low, and then we have another 6 analysts that say just to hold the company because the stock price could be very volatile over the next 12 months. So in this video, we will actually break down what analysts that I more agree with for this particular topic at this particular time. But what I want to focus on right now is why the SOFI stock price is downtrending right now. Well, in the last video and news report update that we did on SOFI Technologies, the reason why the SOFI stock price is dropping right now is due to the extension of the United States government suspending federal student loan payments until a later date, and the student loan moratorium has been extended multiple times already. This means that students don't need to pay on their federal student loans as of right now, and this has negatively affected and impacted SOFI Technologies because a large portion of SOFI's technology actually comes from refinancing student loans. This is why SOFI Technologies actually had to cut their 2022 revenue guidance and earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, also known as EBITDA, for the year of 2022, which should actually show up and become apparent in their 2022 Q1 financial results. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. And this is, of course, the main reason why the SOFI stock price is falling right now. Because the student loan moratorium, where students don't have to pay back or even make payments on their student loans, has impacted SOFI Technologies so much that their management has estimated that they will lose a net revenue of around $80 million during 2022, and they also predict to see around a $100 million loss on their EBITDA compared to what their former revenue and EBITDA guidance was, which is very bad news, and of course, this is causing the stock to trend downward. However, despite this, the financial reporter Ken Well actually says, and I quote, "When I look at the SOFI chart, I see the stock undercutting last month's low at $7.73, and doing so with bullish divergence on the RSI measure. Notice how the RSI is not making new lows while the stock price is." And overall, if you don't know what the RSI is, it's a relative strength index, and if the RSI is very, very low, specifically before 30, it could indicate that the stock is oversold. However, if it's above 70, that indicates that the company could be overbought, and right now, this financial reporter is saying that SOFI Technologies is trading at an extremely low rate right now, only at around $7 to $8 per share, which is actually a very good deal. Although SOFI Technologies is a risky stock because it's a single fintech stock that is relatively new to the stock market, this risk is contained, especially if you hold this company over the long term, and I 100% agree with him. Although the volatility that we could see throughout 2022 and 2023, overall this still still looks like a very good cheap price to buy the stock at. We also have an institution named Altron Capital Management that actually has increased their exposure to SoFi stock. In quarter 4 of 2021, they sent out an investment letter that mentions their investment in SoFi Technologies. And right now, SoFi is trading at around a $6.2 billion market cap, and they're bringing in around $1 billion worth of revenue on an annual basis. So literally, their PS ratio is astonishingly low for such a fantastic growth stock. Now, while some people think that it's more of a meme stock, I think it's a fantastic growth stock. So let's see what Altron Capital actually has to say about their investment into SoFi Technologies. Now, I'm not going to read their entire quote, I just want to have a couple highlights from it, and it basically says that they are continuously building up a very large position in SoFi Technologies because they are very bullish about this overall company, and their thesis is very positive. If you didn't know, SoFi Technologies is an online financial technology company that started off refinancing student loans, and this is why the student loan moratorium is hitting SoFi and particularly their SOFI stock price very hard, because a load of their revenues actually comes from refinancing student loans, but right now there is no point to refinance student loans, at least in the student's mind, because they don't even have to make payments on them anyway right now. However, when students eventually will have to make their payments back, which I believe will happen, this will cause the SOFI stock price to absolutely surge. However, right now we don't know when that is. SoFi Technologies is also looking to diversify their overall revenue sources by expanding into even newer products, and we've already seen them expand into things such as personal banking, investing, and even credit. However, their overall platform is still evolving, which should invigorate shareholders to even buy more of the stock over the long term. However, I do want to add, do not overexpose yourself to single stocks. This is how you lose money. You don't want to bet just on one horse in the horse race. Why not bet on all of the horses so you're guaranteed to win? That's just saying make sure to be diversified and not to put too much money into a single company, because that would be bad risk management. The company has nearly doubled its member count over the past year by over 50%, even despite the refinancing hit that the business has taken in the last couple of years. More good news is that if you didn't know, they are an official bank because they landed a very good bank charter with Golden Pacific Bancorp, which is fantastic news. Lastly, the institution said that while SoFi is not the only financial technology company on the stock market right now, they believe in SoFi's overall digitalization approach to banking and their overall platform, which means that they could steal a very large portion of the overall market share, which is in the trillions. SoFi, in my opinion, is well on its way to revolutionizing the financial services industry, and I think they are going to be very, very good and make investors a lot of money, especially if they plan to hold this company over the next decade. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that there is risk here, and I actually want to take the risk from an analyst that I do tend to agree with on some instances. In the short term, the student loan moratorium is weighing the overall stock price down, and even if the stock fell to around $5 per share, I would actually average down my average cost for this company, because that's how good SoFi is supposed to perform over the long term. However, if you are already overexposed to SoFi Technologies and you already have a substantial loss, the best thing you could probably do is just to hold the company. However, this is only my opinion and not financial advice in the slightest. And an analyst from Wedbush actually thinks that the SoFi Technology stock price, or the SOFI stock price, will trend lower throughout the year of 2022, because he believes the student loan moratorium or suspension of student loan payments could actually continue all the way until 2023, which would be very, very bad news for SoFi Technologies. And this is why this analyst from Wedbush actually lowered his price target for SoFi Technologies. He actually thinks that the stock price is going to be worth around $14 to $15 as of right now. However, despite his bearish outlook on the overall company and the student loan moratorium being extended, these price targets are still very bullish in my opinion, because they would actually align with the average price consensus among professionals for the company right now, which I believe comes in at around $14 per share right now. So although he is advocating for a hold rating and a $14 to $15 price target, he is not advocating to sell the stock by any means. And this just goes to show that even the analysts that are not very bullish on the overall company, they don't say to sell the stock. No analyst out of these 12 that I looked at from Wall Street said to sell the company. They all either said to buy or hold the company. So the choice is up to you. You can either buy the company now and hold for the long term, or if you are already invested into SOFI Technologies, feel free just to hold that specific position for the long term, and then you could be making out very well in long-term gains. However, if you want to trade off of SOFI stock, this stock just might not be for you, because over the next year or two, the stock price could be extremely volatile. This is why sometimes it's best for the company to prove itself and become profitable before investors decide to invest into the company. But this, of course, will have to depend on your personal risk management and your portfolio diversification and your overall risk tolerance as an investor. So for me personally, I am not overexposed to SOFI Technologies right now, but if the stock price falls below $7, you better be sure I'm going to load the boat until I reach a position or a portfolio saturation point of around 5%, where I will no longer add SOFI Technologies to my overall portfolio, and I will just let the company ride for the long term. I don't need this money right now, and the money that I am investing into the company, I also don't need right now. However, if you do need this money right now, then one, I wouldn't even invest this money at all, particularly in a very risky stock such as SOFI Technologies. But with that being said, I am overall very bullish on SOFI Technologies over the long term. I'm very excited to see what this company can do over the next 5 to 10 years, and I'm very actually excited for their earnings report, which is going to come out on May 10th. And I actually think this is going to be somewhat bad news, but even if the stock price falls, I'm going to buy more, and if it rallies off of good news, that just puts more money in my pocket. So I would love to hear what you think. Remember to go and comment down below your thoughts about SOFI Technology stock. Smash that like button right now if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next YT video.